Baruch Hashem, and welcome back to the Captain's Ready Room. Here we are at the start of our new build, the 1537 scale USS Reliant. We've got the parts currently drying, and I thought I would give everybody a nice look as to the crisp detail on these parts. Like I said in the first video, it's an older kit, and it's been around for a while, so you want to pause the video and take a good look at some of these parts here laid out as they're drying. We always want to wash these parts before they get painted. This is the clear part here. Let's try to bring that up so you can see it a little closer. So we're gonna be back shortly with these things primed once they get all dried up. Alright, so I just started doing a mock-up. As you can see, I haven't even gotten to the rest of the kit yet, and I was putting the two halves of the saucer together, and I just wanted to show everybody there's going to be some major work along. As I was mocking it up, I noticed not only is there a gap, but it is an overhang. When I look at the very uneven, actually, there's a little bit stuff here. So for those of you building this kit for the first time or building it along with me or whatever, you want to make sure that you always test fit stuff, and sometimes it's good on these larger models to do a mock-up. And like I said, I just got started, so you want to make sure that everything fits, and of course it really doesn't. So we'll have to really sand this down and put some putty into it. Okay? Alright, we'll be back with some more updates shortly. Alrighty, welcome back to the Ready Room. Between the last segment and now, I'm embarrassed to say it's been many months. I started painting the base coat on the warp engines, and then I started having some trouble. I couldn't figure out why the paint was kind of blistering on it. Turns out my primer was bad, but I didn't realize that because it was kind of a newer bottle of primer, so it must have just been bad at the factory or something. Anyway, I went ahead and had to strip the paint down, sand them down, and redo them. There's still some touch-up I'm going to have to do. I don't know if you can see like in there. We'll see how much more I put to it. But then the weather started getting bad, so I couldn't go out and paint. So we had the holidays, we had all kinds of things going on, so it's been probably 4 or 5 months since the last segment. Want to just use this moment to encourage everyone to pay attention to your primers and pay attention to your paints and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a valuable lesson. But now that the weather's breaking and things are getting warmer, we're able to get out and get these things started. Also, seams are kind of a nightmare. I've had to do a lot of seam sanding and filling along these things. This looks pretty good. There's still, again, some touch-up we'll have to do, but not too bad. But we're coming right along, so hopefully in the next segment we'll be quicker with it and finishing up the painting. I went ahead during the winter months and painted this stuff black and painted the intercoolers and all of that black and taped them up so that I can continue to lay down the base coat. So once we get that done, there's some light blue we'll have to get on some parts of this, and some more touch-up we'll do, and then we're going to move on to the warp pylon assemblies, which are next. So stick around. Alrighty folks, welcome back. We're at the final segment here of the warp nacelle build, and we've got it all painted up pretty much. Tiny touch-ups here and there maybe so, but as we go along. But the seams are quite a nightmare on this kit, I will tell you. It's most likely because it's old. So we'll get it all maybe done and wrapped up soon. So we are going to be moving on to step 2, which is the warp engines, the assembly of the pylons that attach to the warp engines. I've started with the port nacelle. I pulled these parts out to do a test fit, and I can tell you that they are, again, a seam nightmare. As you can see, if we can get some camera, there we go. You can sort of see right there, like they're a little bit warped, and there's some gapping, and I've already started to sand off these edges a little bit just to try to, you know, get them smoothed down a little bit. But the biggest nightmare, when I take the port warp nacelle and I put the part in here, is this. As you can see, it is just not fitting the greatest. So we'll be having to definitely putty this up. So on this kit, I got to tell you, putty is going to be your new best friend. If you haven't had a chance to work with it on the Reliant, you'll be working with it. So if you aren't good at it, you'll be getting good at it. So that's where we're at. And of course, this part will fit right here. It's sort of the torpedo. I'm sorry, not the torpedo. The phaser cannons will be going in there. So again, we can see we've got some gapping there, and it's just got to go just so. So kind of some a little bit tricky assembly, but we'll work on it. We'll get them primed up. That's kind of the next step with these parts, and work on it. So, all right, folks. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or send a message to our Twitter account. It's at Captain6K77. Also, as I always end every video, if you've got any prayer requests or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to pray for you. Won't do it on the air, but we'll get you on our official Ready Room prayer list. Until next time, please be safe, stay healthy. Hope you guys are all enjoying building some models during this quarantine stuff, and we'll get through it soon. I believe we will. This is Captain 6K77 signing off for now. We'll see you next time with Step 2. Shalom.